Hey everybody, welcome back for another mod overview. Hope you're enjoying the Red Alert anniversary celebration so far, and there's plenty more on the way. So first up, we're going to be having a look at the mod debut page for this mod, Red Alert 20XX. As you can see here, the aim of the mod is to pay tribute to the old CNC games while giving Yuri's Revenge a fresh feel and brand new Cold War context. So it's pretty cool. The game has 6 factions in it, 3 on the kind of Allied side and 3 on the more Soviet traditional side. Most recently they come out with version 1.0.5, which released on November 4th, so very recent. This mod update has added a whole bunch to it, and having a look at the patch notes here will give you kind of a flavour for some of the things they've changed, but of course we'll see all this in game in a short while. But yeah, some of the highlights, just to go through these briefly. There's a new logo, which is pretty sick. You'll see that in game. It's now running Phobos 0.2.2.2. For about Phobos, you can go check it out if you're interested. It's like an engine extension for Yuri's Revenge. Adds a whole bunch of cool little features, like in-game descriptions, being able to see idle harvesters, and a whole bunch of other cool features. Allied editions, so they added a bunch of cool new weapons and units. We'll see these in game. So the Jupiter Cannon for the USA, the Fox Team Sniper for USA, the Costello Sky Shield for the EU, the Gladiator DCA for the EU, the Fenrir APC for the EU, the Wind Supersonic Bomber for the Pacific, Shogunate, however you pronounce that, the Hephaestus Allied Support Vehicle, Minerva's Owl for the Allied, Tank Bunker, the Artemis Launcher. So you can see there's a huge amount added with this most recent update. The Strumpanzer and its Ace variant, now self-heal and drop shell casing, so some balance changes. The Cerberus MLRS is now the Tsunumi MLRS. The Hypnos Jammer is a new model and was buffed. The Hover Harvester has a new model, which is pretty cool. The Berserker now requires drone command. Orca Spectre now named the Orca Type S. It's very cool. They have a whole series of different Orca units across the factions, which is kind of nice to see. Orca Bomber now called Orca Type B. The Orca Hunter now called Orca Type H. So they've gone with a new kind of naming scheme for their air units, which makes sense. The Legion Tank is an auxiliary defense system. Alright, some Allied buildings got a makeover. Allied Power Plant is Fusion Reactor upgrade. Fusion Reactors for the Allies look really cool, so you can see here them without the upgrade and here them with the upgrade. You can see the cooling rods on top. It's a really nice model in my opinion. The Athena Strike S super weapon was changed. It now drops more bonds. We'll see some of these super weapons in game. So they have done custom ones. It looks super cool. So I'm excited to try these out. Soviet editions, they added the Doomsday device for Russia, so it's a new super weapon. We'll see how that goes. It replaces the nuke. They added the Sunstorm ICBM for the Eastern Republic, so it's an interesting, unique unit. Gatling tank for China replaces the Tunguska, but it's cheaper and sturdier. They added the Red Brigade, new tier 1 anti-infantry unit. I will say infantry in this mod looks a little bit different to what you might be used to. I kind of like the style that they're going for. It definitely stands out compared to other mods, I'll say that much. Like, you can see the animated feet action a lot better. It's definitely unique. Battlemaster is a new model. Terradrone now has a new model. A very cool looking model. The Sickle's now a ranged mine layer. A couple other changes. They've added a whole bunch of new models for neutral structures. So I'm guessing that's a tech derrick in the top left. You've got like your hospital, you've got cannons, you've got repair bay, you got like tech centers and stuff like that. So they have actually gone through and remodeled a whole bunch of the original game's assets, which is really interesting and helps give the mod its own unique feel. Notable graphics, GUI, balance, and AI additions. So the brand new load screens. Very cool to have custom load screens. Appreciate that. I'm sure they'll be very cool. Big shout out to OC for adding those. Added some flashy new explosion effects for buildings and vehicles. Very cool. Added voice acting for a couple of the guys here. Very nice. They added Flame Wheels voice acting for the Guardian, the Hoplite, the Costello Sky Shield, and the Phalanx Fortress. Very cool. Nice to see that these voice actors getting some work in here in the mod. It's always cool to see. Added description tooltips to all units, super weapons and buildings thanks to the Phobos engine, nice. Added a new active harvester counter thanks to Phobos, nice, we'll see that. Having multiple factory of a certain type will give a better bonus to production speed, kind of a standard, it's pretty good. Remove the ability to build base near tech buildings, fair enough, it's a good balance change. New war spawning rules, it will now spawn in bigger patches, sweet. Complete rework of the AI attack teams, which will include a better use of the new units. Change the dispersion of AI attack teams. Many more changes, which can be seen in the README, which you can go check out if you are interested in the details of that. And then they've given a little shout out here for their ORA event. It'll be showcased by myself, so you'll see this video. And then, of course, I believe the caution is going to be streaming some of this multiplayer in the evening. I'll probably hop on a couple of the games as well. We'll see what's going on then. Looking forward to it. So yeah, that'll hopefully give you a little taster for all the improvements they made with the most recent version. So it is a significant patch. To get it installed, set up and running it, and all that good stuff, it's relatively straightforward. You need to have a copy of Yuri's Revenge installed locally. Once you have that set up, you then need to download the latest version, and here version 1.0.5, move it into your install folder, and then you should be good to go with it. I've had very little issues trying to get this set up and running. It should hopefully be straightforward for you. If you are having any issues, of course, as always, I'll leave links in the video description to the relevant channels for Red Alert 20XX and for the anniversary Discord, and of course you can always leave comments below and I can refer them on to the devs. So with that in mind, that's pretty much everything I wanted to check out on the ModDB side. I think now we're going to go over to the client and check out some matches against the AI and see what all these new units and structures are all about. So let's go. Alright, so here we are in the game client for Red Alert 20XX. It's pretty much your standard DTA client. If you played any of the other ORA2 mods, you'll be familiar with this. The online settings are at the top. We're going to be trying out some skirmishes against the AI just to show off the different factions. You'll notice there isn't currently a single player option in this. So we're only going to be able to check out some multiplayer, which is totally cool. They've got a load of maps included in the mod, like you can see the huge list of them here. They've got a bunch of different game modes, so Team Alliance, Beat Grinder, Naval War, which is very nice. We're going to be trying out some basic one-on-ones against the AI to start off with, just to try out each of the factions. As mentioned before, there's 6 currently included. USA, the Pacific Shogunate, which I'm guessing is kind of like an Asian Japanese style. Then we've got the EU, we've got the Eastern Republic, we've got China, and then we have Russia. So it's very, very cool. In terms of options and settings and stuff like that for campaign, for the skirmish missions, you've got like short game, MCV repacks, super weapons, which can be turned on and off. They're off by default. I guess we're going to knock them on so we can try and test these out. Hopefully not get our ass kicked by the AI when they use it themselves. Build off allies, multi-engineer in-game allying, so you can actually form and break alliances in-game. It's always interesting. Stolen tech, use battle labs for stolen tech infantry. Naval combat, you can enable this on certain water maps. Destroyable bridges, brutal AI if you want to make the AI harder, and no spawn previews. So we're going to play this on faster just so we can get through the missions a little bit quicker. I'm actually going to lower this down to easy AI because there's quite a lot added to each of these factions, and it'll take a bit to just describe them briefly as we're playing through the mission. But we're going to start off here as USA. And I guess we're going to go up against Eastern Republic. So we'll go down the list like USA, Eastern Republic, Pacific Shogunate, China, EU versus Russia, and then flip it. And then try out the Soviet side. So first up, we're going to try out the USA. We're going to go random. I guess we'll try the first map here. It looks like a nice snow map. Could be cool. Very interesting. Different spawn locations in terms of the maps. If you want to briefly have a glance here, you can see like the maps are quite varied in terms of their tile sets. Some of them are using desert tiles, some of them are using the more tempered tiles, some of them are using snow tiles, some of them are classics from like the original ORA2, things like El Dorado, for example. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you do have maps like, where is it? There was one nice 4-player map whose image definitely stuck out to me. I mean, a lot of these maps are pretty cool. There was one in particular, a Subcon Forest 2. This one looks pretty cool as well, so I definitely want to be checking that one out. The lighting effects in the preview look really nice. There's of course also Dune in here. It's one of the maps we've seen in a different mod, so cool to see it included here. But first up, we're going to try Air Force Academy as the USA. Seems appropriate too for the faction. I'll give us the starting position here since it's more centralized, I guess, and then the enemy can spawn over towards the bottom left. And with that in mind, I think we are good to get into it here. So let's go into our first skirmish against easy AI, just to give us a bit of a chance to talk about what we're doing. So we're starting in here with the insta-deployed Conard. Get ourselves a power plant up, get a racks next. As you can see, it uses this interesting power plant model that has like the cooling rod upgrade you can put on the top of it. It's very cool. In terms of defensive purposes, you've got Allied Warfunds, not sure what that's about. You got Pillbox, Aegis System. In terms of infantry, you've got Peacekeeper, And you also have in-game descriptions because of Phobos, it's a recent feature. We have Guardians here, AA capabilities, get some attack dogs. You also get the medic and the engineers. Get ourselves refinery, and you can see the refinery gives you access to hover harvesters, which is also new. Over here you can see the new infantry, so you can actually see the legs and stuff running and animating on them, which is really interesting for Ori2 models, because usually you have the likes of the conscripts and the GIs, which you can see the walking animation, but it's not quite as it's not quite the same modeling style, I guess. It's hard to put the finger on exactly what they've done differently, but it definitely has a unique feel to it. By default, this faction seems to have Spartan buggies starting at veterancy, so that's kind of cool. We'll get a few of those, a few Legion tanks, Armadillo APC. We probably won't get those yet. I want to get some base defenses set up. Cool to have the in-game descriptions, so it's easy for me to see that this is AA, this is anti-ground, anti-vehicle, anti-infantry, so all that stuff is very nice. A bit of a squashed starting section, so map-wise, it's going to be a little bit tight, especially with our opponent right there. But that's fine, it's good to show off a variety of the different maps that are actually available. What else we got here? I guess we want to get a couple of Rocketeers. We got our promoted units here. Now that we've also got this Tech Industrial Accelerator, I think we definitely want to be getting that under our control. And there's also this tech structure over here, the Tech Secret Lab, so you can see these new models in game. It's kind of cool. The AI is actually building over its walls, which is a little bit concerning for me. Battle Lab, currently low power, so we can actually build the fusion power plant upgrade here. And we'll see the upgrade in action on one of our existing power plants here. Down it goes. It's pretty cool. So this structure, as it says at the top, gives access to a bunch of cheaper units and also promotions. Soundtrack music's pretty kick-ass too. It's definitely not the default soundtrack. The Atlas control station here is for our super weapons, so we'll get that. We're a little strapped for space, so we're going to destroy the Air Force Command Center here. Nice. A little worried about having no anti-air. We can build Fox teams here, can deploy a heavy vehicle crew sniper, can play C4. Anti-air, Aeroblazer, AA only. So let's see if we can get these out and over here. What else we got? We got the Artemis launcher, T3 armored vehicle, USA unique unit. We lost the tech structure here unfortunately, but we have the Aeroblaze up. We should be able to take these down. Nice. So we got some Artemis launchers on the way. Apollo tanks, get a couple of these. Jupiter cannons. EMP effect on vehicle and buildings for 15 seconds, USA unique unit, so we get a few of those. 4K, quite expensive. Ulysses, T3 air cargo class, bonus infantry transport, passengers can shoot from inside. Oh yeah. We're definitely going to be getting ourselves some of these Orcas with the new naming system, so the Orca Type S, the Orca Type B, so this is like a bomber type. The S is a cloaked unit, interesting, USA unique. So you can start to see, you can see and admire some of the models here. You can see like the, what are these called, the Artemis launchers. See if they can actually outrange the Tesla coils, if we can get proper vision here. Rip doggo. Yeah, so these can outrange the Tesla coils and do quite a bit of damage. Very nice. Get a couple of these Fox teams, I think it'd be good. Show them off a bit. Nice. Got some of the classic music kicking in now. It's very Disruptor-like, the Apollo tank here. These guys. Get these Aero Blazes back since they only do air unit damage. The Ore Purifier, of course, a classic structure. We'll get our engineer over here, see if we can, although, we're going to want to try and break through these walls, I guess. Here he is. We'll get the secret lab, see what tech we might unlock with it. The Atlas control station here. Nice. So it unlocks T5 country-specific units at random. That's kind of cool. Here's the sniper infantry unit that we have, the Fox team. The Atlas control system we'll get down here. Space in this map, a little bit awkward to deal with. That's fair enough. So here's the sniper which you can deploy for the Fox team. It's kind of cool. We have our air units. So here's the Orcas, and they're the Orca bombers doing some heavy damage lifting. I think we seem to have unlocked access to the Apocalypse tank with capturing the secret tech lab. So here's the Jupiter cannon. Here's the special unique structure. Jupiter cannon, the little ion cannon blast there, very cool. So this thing is able to fire, or it's not able to fire by default, but you can put these infantry inside of it, and it should be able to. This is the Ulysses. So you can see here, it's now doing the damage. It's a pretty cool idea. Our Atlas cannon is currently charging up, which is good. What else we got here? We want more upgrades. The fusion power upgrade. Get this back. Get these over here. You can see on the top right as well, if you're not familiar with Phobos, the 3 out of 3 icon here. If I grab one of my harvesters and have it stop harvesting, it drops to 2 out of the 3. So it's just a handy indicator to let you know how many harvesters you currently have, what's active, what's not. Yeah. So we have a couple of abilities here. We've got an EMP airstrike, calls in 2 Valkyrie jet fighters to strike the designated target with EMP. Disrupts vehicles and power defenses for 15 seconds. So I can do this on... What's a good example? Well, guess we could try use it on the vehicles here. Takes a little bit of time before it hits, but there you can see these are now neutralized, which is cool. We're going to get some more of these base tanks. I'll hold off on the Apocalypse tank because we'll see that when we play as one of the Soviet factions, I'm sure. There's something to look forward to. I guess we'll go for a spy satellite so we can properly see the full map too. We also have access to the Atlas cannon now, so we'll use it on their Conyard and see how OP the super weapons are. Usually for like multiplayer balance, you don't really want your super weapon to be able to one-shot the Conyard, but able to do enough damage to like break a couple of the structures possibly around it. AI also being super greedy coming towards us, so we're going to capture that by total intention, definitely not a mistake. We'll take that, I'll take a few of these. But yeah, so this is the American faction, it's pretty cool. So their special units again is like the Ulysses here, I think the bomber units, the Orca Type S. As unique as is the Jupiter cannon that calls down like its little ion strike, which we already saw. It's pretty cool. Like the look, like the aesthetic. As I say, the infantry definitely have a unique feel and look to them. We'll try the Atlas cannon, we'll try it here, see if it'll actually take out a bunch of these. So, did hefty damage to the MCV and almost took out the 2 side structures. This is going to be an explosion to the nuke, so I want to be careful about this. Not sure how damaging this is going to be. Oof. Damaging enough. We're going to get ourselves a couple more Artemis launchers. I mean, Iron Curtain detected is fine, but putting it right in front of me, damn son. I think something to bear in mind as well is the fact, as I mentioned before, that this there's a tech oil there, that this map is quite small. But it is the first map in the pool, so it seemed like it was worth checking out. But yeah, this is the USA faction. It's pretty fun. You know, feels very much like an Allied style faction. I definitely like the Apollo tanks being similar to Disruptors. And you have like your MLRS, the Artemis launcher type units too, which is cool. And then of course you have the air bombardment units, which is kind of what this faction seemed to be specializing in, which is nice. Our build speed's a little bit on the slow side, so we'll probably get another war factory here. A few more Rocketeers. Can probably build a few defensive structures more far forward. We don't really seem to have access to like a prism tower type thing. So that's the only kind of thing I would say that feels a little bit like it's missing. And here's of course the iron cannon structure, but we do have access to gun turrets, so there is that aspect. We can call an Eagle Squadron here. It gives you a whole bunch of infantry to help reinforce your locations. Nice. We can chrono shift, so we can like send this harvester over here, I guess. Sucks to be him. I do like the gun turret models, look nice. Of course, the EMP airstrike. Oh, they moved their units at the last second. I stopped building units. Again, not always the best idea. We'll see if this will take out the war factory. It does. Hell yeah. Sell this before it blows up. We want to get ourselves some power. May as well get the power link upgrade as well while we're here. They do still have their conyards, so they can rebuild stuff. Nice, nice. They're in the process of killing this. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost. I do like the animation on the structures. I like the ore purifier. It looks nice having like the underground model instead of the more traditional one that's above ground. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. On hold. Unit lost. Unit ready. It's very cool. Unit ready. We'll get a bomber in. Maybe we can get rid of this Rax. Unit ready. Unit lost. Warning. Nuclear silo detected. Interesting nuclear silo model that they have. New rally point established. Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Of course, you can still crush infantry, I believe. Yep. Unit lost. It's a staple for a reason. Unit lost. They're somehow building on top of us now. They've managed to like crawl towards our base. It's pretty cheeky. Our eco's kinda suffering here at the moment. Pillbox would probably be useful. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Nice. Unit ready. Repairing. So we can now use the Eagle Squadron to get some infantry in here. I do like the drop pod animation that they've decided to include for it. It's very nice. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Again, get the pillbox down. Our base is under attack. Oof. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Repairing. Get the infantry back before this blows. Unit lost. Building. Cancel. Get some more destructors. Why not? Building. Atlas cannons ready. I think what we're going to want to do is come in here and try take this out. Or kill all of our own units in the process of trying to do it. That works too. Nice. Unit ready. Unit lost. Warning. Chronosphere activated. Our base is under attack. Microwave weapons clear for that. Cool. So they've no more production facilities. That's pretty much going to be GG here for them. Unit ready. It's pretty fun. The AI, even though it's on easy, you know, it's putting up a decent enough challenge. We got to see a lot of the cool USA stuff. The Ulysses unit, which is their unique unit. We got to see some of the bomber units. We saw some of the fighter jets. We got to see what else? The Artemis launcher. We've seen some of those. We got to see some of the Fox team units. They're pretty cool. Guardians, very nice. Peacekeepers, pretty cool. We've got to see all these super abilities. The Atlas Cannon, the Chrono Shift. The Allied War Funds just seems to give you cash after X amount of time, which is kind of cool. EMP Airstrike, Eagle Squad. Nice that these don't cost money. Other mods, sometimes they require these to not just be on a timer, but also take a certain amount of cash. You've got the Aegis defense system. I really like the fusion power plant models and how the upgrade system works for it. It's a little detail, but like it's just such a nice thing. That's good. Nice attention to detail. Really like the idea of these kind of destructor style tanks, the Apollo tanks. I think they're out of power, so we can just come in here and finish them off. Interesting flame towers that the Soviets have here, and the radar dome, of course, looking very similar to the classic RA-1. They have their own unique harvester too, which is nice compared to the hover harvesters that the USA faction have. I'll be curious to see if the harvester types change between like the kind of different sub-factions within the Allies and Soviets. I suspect it won't, but you never know. But yeah, it's a pretty good look. So that'll do it for our glance at the USA faction for the Allies in this mod. Good fun. Atlas Cannon is ready, so I guess we'll finish off the mission using it. Seems rude not to. That flak track, OP. GG's. And the cool finishing splash screen art too, looks very nice. Very impressed. Alright, so next up we're going to try out the Pacific Shogunate against China. We're going to try it out on the Subcon Forest 2 map. Same settings as before, so it should be interesting. We're going to spawn the top left, have the AI in the bottom right, and see how this goes. So not quite sure why. Sometimes it seems that your MCV is auto-deploying, sometimes it's not. It seems a little bit erratic in terms of how that happens. It's not a huge deal, just something to be aware of. We want to get ourselves an engineer, and then we want to get attack dogs for scouts, a bunch of peacekeepers.
Everything's ready. Am I covered? I can get that thing working. Unit ready.
Yeah. Spawn down here.
Unit ready. Tech building captured.
So you can see there, the industrial plant gives 300 power and reduces every production by 5%. So everything's a little bit cheaper, which is definitely nice to have.
Unit lost. Building.
Aegis system. Get that going.
Unit lost. Construction complete. New construction options.
We're going to want to get a couple of these. Get our eco into a good position.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Coming in clear, command.
Clear out these sandbags.
Unit ready.
Time to go.
Insufficient
Ready
funds.
for action.
Unit ready.
Looks like there's some
Construction complete.
eco here.
Ready for action. You got it, command. Time to go. Defending the allied nation. Close in on him.
Unit lost.
The Aegis system, get that going. We want some pillboxes.
Ready for action. Rendezvous point confirmed.
Training.
Looks like there's a couple of oil tech derricks here. We're going to want to get those.
Unit ready. Construction complete. New construction options.
A couple of miners. These Tengu Zeros are unique units to the faction. Light vehicle fighter jet class can deploy to go airborne, which then they'll do a suicide attack.
Unit ready.
They can detect cloaked units and submarines. The hovers when deployed. It's kind of cool.
Commander, I got all I need. On my way.
Unit ready.
On my way. On my way.
Careful with this stuff. Yes, sir.
Building.
Air Force Command.
Let's go to work. Am I covered?
Where's our next
Unit
target?
ready. Unit lost.
Careful with this stuff.
Not sure why these harvesters aren't auto mining on this map. Might be just an issue with the map.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
AI being super aggressive.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Not really sure why.
Construction complete. Unit
Get the
ready.
Air Force Command down.
New construction options.
Going to get a few Icarus Raiders. So these are, I think they're faction specific. It's kind of like Rocketeers.
Unit ready.
Defending the Allied nation. Getting there.
Unit ready.
Okay.
Everything's ready. I'm on it.
Bit of Act on Instinct. Very nice. Good sound. Good track.
Unit ready.
Looks like a kind of a remix to it. Here we have a Blitzer Howitzer. It seems new. Tsunami MLRS. Also new.
Unit ready. Insufficient funds.
Let's go to work.
Okay, so one of you go there. One of you go here.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Oil refinery captured.
Very nice. Get the pillbox back down. Power plant.
Ready.
Tech Derek gives 25 credits every 7 seconds.
Construction.
Cool.
Construction complete.
So get the fusion plant upgrade. The lighting effects on the power plant seem a little bit strange in this map.
Unit lost. Building. Unit lost. Construction.
Yeah, we're probably going to get a couple of these aero blazers for anti-air.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yeah, those Rocketeer equivalents are doing good work. The Icarus Raiders. It's cool to see.
Unit ready.
Drone Command Center. Here's the Blitzer Howitzer. You can see it's kind of long range distance damage. It's like a mummy. Interesting. It's like a neutral unit they put on the map.
New construction options.
There's the robot center gone down, and we can now. Let's see, what do we got? We can now build some of these Minerva's owls. Can't just have to destroy incoming missiles. Sounds pretty useful.
Ready.
And the MLRS unit, the unique one, is here. I like the trails that they have on those for effects. It's pretty cool, and it seems like we're getting a couple of drones here for free. I'm not sure what's spawning those, but it's pretty cool.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
We got these Archetype H's. What else do we want to get? Battle Lab, I think, is the next up. We should probably build a repair bay service depot and see what tech we get with that. I think the Allies and Soviets get specific kind of like halfway tier tech.
Unit ready.
Berserker are a unique unit, I think. Mechanical infantry. Or possibly only unlocked with the,
Unit ready.
what's called the drone center. So we'll get a couple of those. Here's one of them. They look very similar to like Wolverines. So it's a cool idea. It's the Aero Blazer. Then we want to be getting more Icarus Raiders. Icarus Raiders. Get the Bat Lab down.
Options.
Get ourselves a spy satellite. Okay, so we got a couple of new units. We got the Rajian tank. AA capability, pierce through damage, EMP effect. That sounds right up our alley. We can get a jammer. Get a Leviathan fortress. Sounds good. You can get some dragoons. We can also get this Divine Wind Sonic Bomber.
Ready. Construction complete.
So once again, quite a heavy emphasis for the Allied sub-faction here on the air units. Here's the Rajian tank. So the Rajian tank is looking very much like a disruptor. So that's kind of cool. There's another one. I like the purple effect for the beam. Then you have here the what are they called? The Minerva Owls. Here's your jammer unit. So here's the Wind Sonic Bomber. Get the spy satellite down. Pretty send us low power, but it's alright. You can see the enemies building here. Some interesting structures.
Construction complete.
EMP airstrike in range.
Select
And so I've got quite a long reach on this by the looks of things. It's all the way out to here. Remember, this is like a 100 by 100 map, so it's quite a bit bigger than the first one. First one there was a lot of kind of forced fighting because we were right next to each other. This seems to be a bit more casual. This thing is huge. This is the Leviathan Fortress. So I force fire. It's like an aircraft carrier. That is a cool looking unit. Beefy as well. Yeah, we can build a commando. We'll get some more of these Icarus Raiders. Some more of the Tengu Zeros. I mean, we want to show off the faction with all its uniqueness. Atlas Control Center we can get. Although we've seen the super weapon ability from it before, so Chronosphere might be more beneficial. And here's another Leviathan Fortress. So you're not restricted to just one of these, but they are very expensive. Pretty cool. Looks like this is under attack. Where is it? Here he is. Map's kind of interesting. I like that it's got all the sort of forestry on it, which kind of prevents vision. Chronosphere, put this in the back if we can. Get more Aegis system up and running. Get more of these Rajin tanks. They're kind of cool. And just to show off, like if you deploy one of these, it goes airborne like so. I guess we'll try and send it into the enemy, and then we can charge it into this, for example. You can see it just kind of goes head first, absolutely destroys itself in the process. But we don't mind that too much. Music is absolutely banging, so good. Get another Aegis system down for anti-air. So yeah, they make good use of the Phobos engine, as mentioned before. Like the top right, you can see our active harvesters. I guess we can try out these Divine Wind Sonic Bombers, see how effective they are. We'll test it on this again. The Crypt. Wow, they're effective. They cost near 4k. So you would expect them to do some heavy damage. Nice. Alright, let's go into the middle and cause some chaos. I actually don't know if I can capture the fortress thingy here in the middle. I'll see if it's a catchable structure. It is not. It's fair enough. Chronosphere is ready. That's kind of cool. Our units are having a bit of a difficult time with the pathing. Another tech structure over here, tech airport. Again, the models are a little bit funky with the lighting on this map. That's fair enough. We can chrono shift. So send his units to the far side of the map rather than put ours into his base. I always like using those super weapons for like more kind of like offensive tactics like that. I think the AI didn't do a huge job expanding here because it was a little bit restricted compared to the first map. Because there was so much forestry and trees and stuff around it, I'm not sure it knew how to path outside of this. I didn't really crush all of its units together. So that's fair enough. We'll send these in and see what damage they do. Against, say, one of these. This guy doing heavy damage to the Dragoon. Doesn't seem to need to reload, which is always interesting. Always satisfying. And then here we have the Leviathan Fortresses doing sick levels of damage. So the planes all land. They take a little bit to reload, it looks like, before going back in for round 2. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that'll do it for this faction. Nice. This is a good look at their units. Pretty fun. Alright, for our next matchup, we're going to go with the European Union against Russia. And we're going to try it on a desert tiled map. So found this one, hard escape. Another 100 by 100. However, there's more base building space at the start, so we'll see how the AI kind of deals with that. And let's go. Also, we're going to be spawning as a green color. Looks like we get full map vision by default this time. Interesting. Okay.
New construction options. Building. Construction complete. Building.
I'm not going to complain about it.
Construction options.
We have a Gladiator DCA, Tier 1 anti-infantry, anti-air defense.
On hold.
Requires power to function. That's kind of cool. So the EU get this special dual function defensive structure.
Building. Cannot deploy here.
A lot of ore at the start in this map too. Although granted, they'll be usually split in two with like allies spawning side by side. Alright. Any capturable? I'm sure there's tech. Yeah, there's a couple of refineries here, and there's like a, what's this, like a air center, tech airport.
Building.
Whoops.
Unit ready.
We can use that all I need. On my way. I got all I need. I can get that thing working.
Okay.
Commander? We can use this.
Building. Training. Unit ready. Construction complete. Unit ready. Low power. Cannot deploy here. Building.
So here we can build some Fenrir APCs. These are a unique unit.
Fighter is captured. Acquiring additional resources.
Infantry transport, amphibious, has AA capabilities. You can see like the Gatling cannon on it. It's pretty cool.
Building.
The Spartan IFVs, and then Legion tanks. And then a couple of miners as well. We've unlocked the power drop through the tech center that we've captured on the far side of the map. Through this.
Unit ready.
Coming in clear, command. You got a command? Sir, orders received.
Construction complete.
Before I forget, I'll make sure to build a service depot this time.
Construction options. Unit ready.
Ballista howitzer, we had this before. The Costello Sky Shield is an EU unique unit. Tier 3 armored vehicle, AA only.
Unit ready.
Hercules, you've seen before, the Orca Type H. Get the service depot in the back.
New construction options.
Get some Rocketeers. This is giving us access to the Hephaestus, the Tier 3.5 armored vehicle, repairs vehicles. Install 4 machine gun drones if the drone command center is active. That seems like a useful thing to have. We can build
Reinforcements
2
ready.
structures this time. An advanced armory,
Our base is under attack.
which upgrades the Legion tank, ballista howitzer, and the Storm Panzer. Okay, I'll try that first.
Unit ready.
All fired up. Pushing away. Igniting boosters.
Tank division, confirmed. Loaded and ready.
Forces are looking all right here.
Coming in
May as well
clear.
garrison a few
You
buildings.
got a command?
You can put your guardians inside these as well. It's worth noting. Not sure why harvesters don't auto-target nearby ore when they spawn. It's a bit peculiar. It seems that might be just map specific.
Low power.
Advanced armory, get that down.
Warning. Iron curtain detected.
It's a little
New
worrying, but okay.
construction options.
We have an allied construction vehicle access, tier 3.5 as well, so the repair bay unlocks access to this. We can build Minerva's Owls again. Seems good. Power plant.
Building.
Get another power plant. What else can we build? A couple of berserkers. These like Wolverine type infantry.
Ore miner under attack. Building.
Excuse you?
Complete.
Could you not attack my vehicles?
Unit ready. Unit lost.
It's kind of rude.
Unit promoted.
I have access to my power drop.
Select target.
I wonder what happens if I try to do it here and take out the iron curtain with it.
Training. Building.
So you can see the little plus icon on these indicating that they're going to be powered up because of the advanced armory.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Building. Unit promoted. Building.
Don't think they're going to get away with it somehow.
Lost.
Need some
Warning.
repairs?
Weather control
Mechanic on
device
the move.
detected.
Here you can see the Hephaestus
There's repairs to be
Unit
made.
ready.
doing the repair when it's in range of the vehicles. Very cool. And then you also, of course, have the Minerva drones intercepting incoming missiles. So together, it's a pretty strong pairing.
Construction options. Building. Unit
Okay, then we have the battle lab down. We can build a few extra unique units. The Apollo tank we get
construction complete.
comes auto promoted, which is nice.
Engines running. Better buckle up.
Our base is under attack. Warning. Iron curtain activated.
Well, that's worrying.
Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Here's the Apollo. Here's the Orca type H's.
Attack is a go. Orca in flight.
What I might do is try get them over here,
Orca
and then swoop in from the like left hand side.
Orca pilot. Orca in flight.
Unit ready.
These will auto go back to their nearest location.
Unit lost.
Not really heavy hitters when it comes to structures, which is fair enough. So here we have the Apollo tank.
Unit lost.
So again, very similar to the Disruptor style.
Maintaining wavelength integrity.
Again, we have the Hypnos Jammer, which you've seen before. We have the Strumpanzer Ace, Tier 4 heavy class, pierce true damage, EU unique unit. Get some of these. The Damocles Artillery. Passive, protected from crew killing. Then we have the Orca Type B, so the bomber class Orcas. And I think that's it on the tank side of things. And here we've got hoplites.
Training.
T4 mechanical infantry, passive, uncrushable.
Unit ready.
And here is the Strumpanzer. Very reminiscent of like the Mark II railgun in Tibson, but on like a mammoth tank type chassis. The turrets are absolutely massive on it. So here's the Berserkers, like the kind of Wolverine style infantry again, and then here is the hoplite. Pretty cool to hear Flame Wheel's voice acting in game. I know he's voiced a few different mods, so it's always nice to see. The super weapon from the enemy, Iron Sky. Are we going to survive? Oh, we're not.
Unit ready. Repairing.
That seemed particularly potent.
On hold. Building.
The hoplites over here.
Iron curtain activated.
Damn, AI's pretty smart with their use of the super weapons. They're doing a decent job doing damage with it.
Repairing. Unit lost. Construction complete. Unit lost.
Another war factory would be a good idea in case that one goes down. Kinda like to face this. It's doing a decent job with like the repair stuff here. It's definitely a useful tool to have, especially when you're going on the offensive. I have so much cash.
Construction complete. On hold.
I guess we'll try go heavy on the infantry this time and see how it goes. But this faction specifically, you know, it seems to be specializing in like the Damocles Artillery and like the Strumpanzer Aces.
Unit ready.
Obviously, you got like the Fenrir here too. If you want to get like a heavy infantry, you can load them into it.
Scanners active. Heading over. Where's the target?
That's your Costello Sky Shield.
Scanners active.
Unit ready.
So it's coming up.
So just verify these hoplites and things can actually go inside the APC. They can. It's kind of cool, like so you can get these heavier infantry and actually be able to quickly move them into the battlefield. It's a nice ability.
Unit ready.
The Damocles Artillery.
Unit ready.
Wow, some heavy splash damage. The Costello Sky Shield, we'll probably need a few more of those to deal with the air units.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Rally point established.
What else?
Unit ready.
Atlas control system, I guess we'll get this down.
Unit ready.
Tank bunker we haven't seen yet, so I'll get one of these just to show it off briefly.
Unit ready.
And you can see on the bottom of the map that the AI has actually gotten a bit more
Warning. Iron curtain activated. Unit lost.
a bit more aggressive with its build. It's not as restrictive as it was in the last match because there's more space to build, which is fair enough.
Unit lost.
Ooh, that destroyed quite a lot of important stuff.
Cannot deploy here. Building.
Orca standing by.
Unit ready.
They've taken quite a lot of the middle of the map with their infantry, which is interesting.
Building.
It's cool AI behavior.
Unit ready.
Payload's ready, sir.
Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Building.
We do have the power drop ability still, so we'll get some units in here.
Construction
Guess we can try take these out.
unit ready.
Man, those disruptor units, the Apollo tanks, do sick damage.
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost.
Those buildings like go down in like 2 seconds flat.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Nice.
Unit lost. Building.
We want to make sure we're still building
Construction
stuff.
complete.
I think I lost my tech lab, my battle lab. So I'm reduced to just building Legion tanks for now. And then of course we can use the Orcas still,
Unit ready.
if we want to get a few of these in.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Nice. Those Orca bombers do heavy damage.
Promoted. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Like, look at much damage the disruptor type units are doing. Like, wow.
Unit
Those Apollo tanks are sick.
options. Warning. Iron curtain activated. On hold.
Oh no, not the Iron Curtain.
Ready. Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Repairing. Unit lost. Unit
I
lost.
guess this is their last production building.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Unit lost.
Okay, well played AI, well played.
Unit ready.
They seem to have accidentally Iron Curtained me
Unit lost.
a little bit, so that's kind of nice of them.
Unit lost. Ore miner under attack. Unit
Damn,
lost. Unit ready.
they
Unit lost.
were not playing around.
Repairing.
Loaded and ready. Microwave emitters ready. Maintaining wavelength
There's also a hospital here in the middle I could have captured. It's a good way to see. So we're seeing quite a lot of the new tech building models, which is cool.
Unit ready.
ready.
A lot of the new tech building models, as well as like the sub-faction specific units. It's pretty nice. There's like 2 power plants.
Unit ready.
I think taking this out might actually power off the remaining Teslas. We'll see.
Unit lost.
Not quite.
Unit lost.
Looks like the Teslas here have the twin coils on the top. Not sure if that's an upgrade, maybe. We'll see when we play as the Soviet factions.
Unit lost.
Come on, kill these infantry. That seems to be the weakness of the Apollo tanks. It's like they're super good against structures, but kind of crappy against basic infantry.
Unit lost.
Possibly against basic tanks as well.
Unit lost.
Oh, they have a that's why they're so strong.
Unit lost.
They have this thing still going for them.
Unit ready.
Hey, GG.
Player defeated.
Nicely done. It's pretty fun. And again, the splash art, very cool, very cool. Alright, so next up we're going to play as the Soviets for the first time as Eastern Republic, and we'll go up against the EU, just to mix it up. I found this map, Midnight Bash, should be interesting. The aesthetics look pretty cool in it. We'll spawn on the bottom left versus the enemy on the top right, so let's go. First look at the Soviets. So we're spawning as an orange color for the Soviets, seems appropriate.
Construction.
So get a Tesla reactor, get a power plant,
New construction options. Construction complete.
get ourselves a refinery, so we can build conscripts. This map I think has quite a few tech buildings on it that we can capture, which is cool.
Unit ready.
So we'll prioritize getting those first. Then you have your standard conscript flak troopers in the Red Brigade here. The Red Brigade seem to have kind of similar to flak track tech. So that's kind of cool. And then here we have the ability to build like your little Shitskoy drones through the barracks. It's nice. So they kind of act similar to like dogs. Here we have the tech industry accelerators. You have 300 power units to reduce energy production cost. Unfortunately, you can't build off these tech structures anymore, so you still have to like get a conyard or move your conyard up towards those locations to be able to deal with them if you want to expand up towards that direction, which is, you know, fair enough. In terms of vehicles, heavy miners, you can build hammer tanks, and you can build proletarians. Proletarians seem to be like your what would you call it, your APC, but also an anti-air damaging capabilities, which is cool. We're going to keep a few infantry scattered around our base because I'm not quite sure how the ally AI is going to act. Get our second refinery down. Next up, we want to get ourselves a repair dome as well as some anti-air, so get the flak cannons up. I like the model for these guys, the heavy miners. It's pretty cool. It's distinctly different from the allied side of things. We've got a couple of different options here in terms of our advancement. So we got 3 bureau structures, it looks like. A Bureau of Industry, knocks the Mobile War Factory, knocks emergency repairs. We got the Bureau of Propaganda, knocks propaganda support power and napalm strike. Unlocks the Iron Fist, upgrades the Tesla tank. So here we can actually build Tesla tanks at this point. We can build Fallout cannons, radioactive warheads. Eastern Republic unique unit, cool. And here we have the Tunguskas, anti-air units, and Piranhas, helicopter class. Alright, there's your Tesla tank with the standard dome on top. Pretty cool. So which one of these? I guess we're going to go... Let's upgrade the Tesla tank? Sure. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to build all 3 of those. If we are, then fine. If not, we're only going to be able to see one of the paths, which is also, you know, fine. Spy plane, we'll get it going over here. Tesla coil. Has to be tested. We can also now build pyrocycles. It's a light vehicle, can kill garrison infantries. It's uncrushable. It's a unique unit for the Eastern Republic. Also build shock troopers. Hell yeah. Like the custom cameo they have for it as well. They didn't use the default one. So here's the Bureau of Technology. So you only seem to be able to build one of those 3 options. And here we can build the Shogunate tank. T5 super heavy class, radioactive warheads. We can build an Iron Fist, which I think is like a mobile war factory. Sunstorm ICBMs. Must deploy to attack, get a few of those. Grasshoppers, T4 heavy helicopter class, AEA capability, can deploy to land, use siege weapons like siege choppers. And also looks like we can build Kirov airstrips. Love the cameo they have for the Kirovs. We can also build a Nikola tank. So it's like an upgrade from the previous Tesla tank. Very cool. So they upgrade some of the units as you upgrade your tech. Ba 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 da ba. Oh no.
Unit promoted. Unit ready.
Man, these Red Alert games are still so good, you know that? It's really cool that the community's like getting together to actually show off a bunch of these mods and stuff, because like you can go for so long without playing these games, and it's nice to just like dip back in and like see all the work that the communities have put together and done and like improved upon the base games, and like still keep the magic of the originals alive while adding their own unique features to it. And the level of detail and care some of these mods have put in is absolutely phenomenal too. That was the Iron Fist. So it's seen to like temporarily make a kind of ion cannon type invulnerability. Here's your siege chopper. That's kind of cool. I think it's the siege chopper. What is it called? It's called the Piranha. Here you have the Iron Fist. So you can see the little Iron Curtain style thing it does. Here's the heavy artillery units. The Shagohod tanks. So it does these nuclear warhead explosions, radioactive even. Here we have another Shogunate tank. That's worrying. Guys, get the hell back. Here's the mobile ICBM units. So we'll deploy one of them so we can see the range on it. It's pretty damn far. Don't know why the missile went all the way that way. It seems pretty cool. Definitely different. We can build some more infantry here. We can build desolators. We can build an iron particle bombardier. We can build a Soviet commissar. The propaganda buff. So the choice of your early tech structures really has a influence on what tech tree that you want to follow and like min-max for, which will make the multiplayer quite interesting for factions like this. Whereas the allied factions definitely seem more like you have a set kind of way to go about doing it. Even if the propaganda centers in this only have like a minimal impact on the higher tiered stuff, it's still cool that it ooh, ouch. It's still cool that it gives you the options to deal with it. Find a hotspot. Okay.
Unit ready. Construction complete. New rally point established.
It's the iron particle bombardier.
Unit ready.
Well, that's cool.
Unit ready.
We should primary this over here. We should deploy one of these ICBMs if we can over here.
Ready.
Trees and stuff in the way make it kind of awkward, I guess.
Warning. Chronosphere activated.
Also, they keep using that damn chronosphere,
Repairing.
which is good for AI behavior. It means that they're not just going to passively do nothing with their super weapons, right? Just a little bit on the annoying side to actually deal with as a player.
Ready. Unit lost.
That's fair enough. Here we have the Kirovs. Imagine they're still going to do their standard bombing action. Yep, they do. AI is meanwhile over here killing all my stuff because it's being super passive.
Cannot deploy here.
And get one ICBM deployed.
Unit ready.
Spy plane is once again ready. So I think more Nikola tanks. The Shagohod seem good, fallout cannons, and then a whole bunch of the basic hammer tanks would be good. Shock troopers, again, they're kind of a classic. Seems good to have a few of those in.
Unit ready.
Some good vision here at the base of what's going on.
Construction complete.
Like the nuke silo down.
Unit ready.
Of course, we need to leave a few units around the base since they're consistently using the they're consistently using the super weapons. Yeah,
Unit ready.
let's I guess let's move forward a little bit. See how they get on.
Complete.
Test the coil, put one of these, a couple of these around the base just to make it a bit easier to defend. Map itself is pretty cool. I like the lighting effects they have going on.
Ready.
A lot of capturable neutral tech.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
AI again using its tech, not being too passive with it. However, it has become a little bit predictable now, so I'm able to more easily defend it.
Unit ready.
I guess we want to try get our army over here.
Unit lost.
Probably get more war factories so it's a little bit quicker.
Electrodes prime.
Nice.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
So we'll look at getting rid of this chronosphere. Curious to see how the nuke behaves.
Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit lost.
A lot of these units are quite slow, so by the time they get here, it's a bit late.
Unit promoted. Unit lost.
There's also structures up here you can capture.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
So pretty cool. ICBM coming out now. Just having some of the fun.
Unit lost.
We'll see how much damage it does to this structure once it fires.
Unit ready.
It's
Unit
pretty
lost.
impactful.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Unit
Base is
lost.
fine.
Unit
See the
ready.
Kuros finishing this off.
Missile ready.
Very nice.
Building. Unit promoted.
Damn. Kuros kicking ass.
Unit ready. Unit
Any more production facilities they have here? I guess the radar.
Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit ready.
Grasshopper can then land and be a siege unit too.
Lost.
To show briefly before he dies.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit
Of course, we have a huge army now over here. We can bring them up, finish the job.
Unit lost.
It's pretty good, pretty fun.
Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Of course, we have the nuke.
Select target.
We'll use it here.
Nuclear
They said that just as I use it. It's okay. We should get another chance to use it. It's interesting. It's pretty fun. GG. Alright, next up we're going to go as China against the Pacific Shogunate. We're going to choose this map. Try an island map. Why not? It's a map by Cat Tanker. He does a lot of cool maps for TS and RA, so very cool to see him included in the default maps for this mod. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, starting with the map already deployed. Map expands in 8 minutes. I guess there's like a little pre-built timer on the map.
construction complete. New construction.
It's kind of cool. I like the variety in some of these maps. Like they all have different features enabled. Some of them you can see the map from the start. Some of them you can't. Sometimes your MCV's auto deployed. Sometimes it's not.
Building.
Propaganda tower. T1 special defense. Propaganda buff plus 25%. I mean, I guess we'll get it and try it out.
Building.
I can build conscripts. We can build more of these Shitskov drones or Shitskoi drones. Tank hunters. China unique unit.
Training. Unit ready.
I mean, we have to, right? It's the unique unit, the faction. Here's a propaganda tower.
Construction complete. Building. New construction options. Construction complete.
Get the flame tower down. Get the flak cannon up.
Tank hunter here. Moving rocket launcher. Enemy tanks out there. Track down the enemy.
Unit lost.
Again, as it's a 3-for-3 map, I expect it to be quite big and for there to be plenty of room for expansion and growth and all that good stuff. So we might try to be a little bit super greedy with this map.
Construction complete. New rally point established. Insufficient funds.
Rocket soldier. On the hunt.
Building.
Tanks out there. Track down the enemy.
We do actually, since it's a naval map, we might actually even try show off a little bit of the water units. It's not the primary focus of like the map overviews, because usually these maps tend to be not based on the water, but since we're on a map with water, we may as well have a look
Building.
after we get our proper defenses and stuff set up. Again, we're against the allies, and they're, as we've seen in the previous matchup, quite likely to use the chronosphere throughout, so may as well get some good static defenses set up.
Unit ready. New rally point established. Our base is under attack. On hold. Building. Repairing.
It's okay, we have 2 of these,
Unit promoted.
just as well too.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Construction complete.
Okay,
Construction options.
the war factory.
Building. Building.
So they can build hammer tanks, and they can build troop crawlers by default.
Unit lost. Building. Construction complete. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Repairing.
Quite effective.
Ready. Construction complete.
Get some power and get a radar dome going.
Comrade, conscript reporting.
Warning, chronosphere detected.
Yep, to be expected.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Comrade, order received.
Insufficient funds.
Comrade,
Construction complete.
Okay, now we have a radar. So last time we got the Bureau of Propaganda, I think? Or was it technology? I think it was the technology we got last time. I think we'll go with propaganda this time, and then we'll go with industry in the next one, I guess. Tesla towers are now unlocked. We also can build Gatling tanks and the Komodo tank, as well as the Hellion MLRS. Alright.
Our base is under attack. New rally point established. Unit ready. Construction complete.
Tesla coil. Keep one near the Conyard, it's usually a good spot.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Building.
waiting order.
New construction options. Warning, nuclear silo detected. Construction complete.
Okay.
Building.
Get our power situation under control. We can build V3 launchers too.
Unit lost.
I can build mammoth tanks. Hell yeah. And a propaganda overlord. Shiny unique unit, so I guess we're gonna have to get a bunch of those. And a propaganda Ling AO. Shiny unique unit.
Unit ready. Construction complete. New rally point established. Unit ready.
Pretty cool. Let's get the nuclear reactor down. Get a plant. In terms of infantry here,
Unit ready.
armor transports they're coming with. These guys are coming with default troop crawlers, coming with 5 infantry in it by default. It's kind of cool. Here we have the Komodo tank, so we've come up against that before.
Unit lost. Construction complete. Unit lost.
See if we can pull these in towards
Unit lost.
the Tesla.
Warning. Chronosphere activated. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Select target.
Propaganda causes the propaganda buff and designated friendly units.
Select target.
Very cool.
Unit ready.
Flak cannon, more Teslas. So we seem to be able to build a nuke again and the Iron Curtain. This time we'll probably want to try and use the nuke just to show it off. Here's the V launcher, the V3, right?
Construction complete. Unit ready.
So the Tesla coil, getting that down. So we have napalm strike here. 2 MiG bombers to airstrike target with napalm bombs. I mean, we can try do it on this. I don't think it's gonna take it out though.
Select target. Unit ready.
Nuclear silo. We want to get ourselves a service depot. And napalm strike wasn't half bad. Spy plane ready.
Select target.
Get some more vision of what they're doing.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
Ouch.
Unit ready.
Well, that
New
sucked.
construction options.
We have a repair bay.
Repairing.
You can see some of the mammoth tanks coming up here. Classic mammoth tank style. Cool to see it in RA2. Pyro script. You can build some of these. Shock troopers, napalm bombardiers.
Ready.
The Soviet Commissar, so very similar to last time.
Unit ready. New rally point established.
Get a forward war factory here.
New rally point established.
Nuclear silos nearly ready.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
So the nuclear silo down.
Warning. Chronosphere activated.
So this seems to be their preferred spot to Chrono 2.
Unit lost.
Interesting.
Unit
I guess we'll get a sub pad and see what some of the naval's like while we're waiting for these tanks and the nuke to charge up.
ready. Our base is under attack. Construction complete. Repairing. Unit ready.
Sub pad.
Unit lost.
I need division. Give me division, please.
Select target. Unit ready.
So these are the propaganda overlords. This is the unique unit of China.
Unit ready.
Kind of like beefy looking mammoth tanks. 25% firepower, 25% armor.
Unit ready.
Oof.
Repairing.
Okay, so here's our sub pen. We can build some Seawolves, Typhoon Submarine, and Hammerheads. So we'll get a few of those while we're here. Here you can see the, the Chinese Kirovs, featuring some propaganda on the side. Propaganda Ling Ao. I think it just buffs units, which is an interesting idea.
Spy plane ready.
Not too sure.
Ready.
We have all the infantry really.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Day for a cruise. New weekend getaway.
Warning. Chronosphere activated. Our base is under attack.
Nice.
Ready.
Good that they've got separate build queues for the naval and the vehicles. We kind of expect it with a Yuri's Revenge mod, but you never know.
Unit ready.
My nuke is just about ready. So matched in with the napalm strike. I think I'll use the nuke here. It should do splash damage to this, and then finish it off with the napalm strike.
Nuclear missile ready.
So like this,
Warning. Nuclear missile launched.
then do this,
Select target.
and watch all hell break loose. A bit of luck to napalm strike will do this. It might not be enough. It's also quite late getting here. Yeah, almost. Not quite. Damn.
Select target.
Looks like they've captured the oil tech derrick in the center of the map too.
Ready. Training.
So we'll come in here and take this out.
Unit ready.
Oof. So you have some submarines here, and then you have the bigger hammerhead subs here, which I'm guessing fire nukes inland. Yeah,
Unit ready.
that's pretty cool. It's a fun idea
Ready.
for the units. These are quite slow to build is the only thing, so I got to be careful of that. V2 is having very long range, hitting the oil tech derrick from all the way over here.
Unit ready.
Not too close. Moving to new launch site. Advancing to new
Don't really have much anti-air over here,
Unit ready.
so I do need to be a bit careful with that.
Unit ready.
See if we can get the hammerheads all the way around the base and then attack this from the ocean.
Select target.
I'm sure they've got like a spy gap generator thing here. That's why I can't see what's currently going on. So we've seen all of these. Yeah, these guys seem to be able to hit the ground, the Seawolves.
can be dangerous place.
It's kind of
Unit lost.
oof.
Unit ready.
Oh, they EMP'd nearly all of my army. That's painful.
Ready. Unit lost. Training. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Lost. Unit
The faction feels very unique. I like the look of the models. You know, nothing feels like it's hugely out of place. And it's pretty fun, to be honest.
Nuclear missile ready.
Not that I would expect anything else. Like the team put a lot of work into the mod, and like it definitely shows.
Spy plane ready.
Like it's a very easy to recommend trying out playing it a bit.
Repairing.
As far as I know, you can do it with multiplayer too. I want to say, so there's no reason why not to try it out with some friends.
Unit ready.
And cool to see the nuke like come out of its silo there as well when it's ready.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, so here's the hammerheads. We do the hammerheads with the napalm strike. Actually, this will be an interesting test. If they decide to launch their missiles. Here they go. That's pretty cool. So nice coordinated attacks.
Unit lost.
We can also,
Select target.
you know, use the propaganda thing on all of these units. Send them charging on in.
Unit lost.
Brand new motivation. Come on, boys.
Unit promoted. Unit
We
lost.
can kill off the gap
Our base is
generator.
under attack. Unit
Ah,
lost.
base is fine. Cool to have the mammoth tanks. Hammerheads have been... Oh, they're still alive. Okay. We'll have them target the Conyard. I'm sure that they can reach. We'll test it. Test just how far in range these things can reach. Just like they can, no problem. From there all the way to here.
Our base is under
I guess just as a reminder as well, I think this is like 1280 by 720 res. You can play it at higher resolutions. So for multiplayer and stuff, if you want to be able to see a lot more of the map at one time, there's definitely ways to do that. Our sub-pen's under attack here. That's fine. I'm not overly concerned about that at the moment. Hammerheads are destroying their Conyard though.
Our base is under attack.
We'll get the nuke going over here.
Warning, nuclear missile launched. Unit lost.
Nice, the Hammerheads there, polishing off the Conyard. It's pretty cool. We can actually call it a napalm strike on the boats there.
Unit lost.
Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's a pretty good job actually.
Unit lost.
It's pretty fun. I think that's all their production buildings too. They've got something emitting a pulse over here. I guess I killed it. I think that's going to be GG.
Yes, Commander. Close and fire. I have to carry this around. Let him have it.
Player defeated.
GG's. It's an interesting look at that faction. It's pretty fun. Alright, so for this last matchup, we're going to test the last Soviet faction, which is Russia. But rather than do 1v1, I decided, we'll try out a 3v3 on one of these maps, see how the AI partnerships work. We're going to go on tour of Egypt with 2 Soviet allies against the 3 ally factions. So we'll be able to get a good view of absolutely everything here. So let's see how we get on. And I have noticed that one of the AIs on the ally side does like to send an APC NG style play, which is super
Building.
annoying, so I am going to be walling off my Conyard this time, so it's something for you to be aware of if you are intending to play against the AI, that sometimes they like to do the APC NG rushes,
Construction complete.
so that at least keep that one structure safe.
Building. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Since it's left versus right, I only need to really explore the side of the map.
Ready.
They've done a lot of cool changes with this, like even like the cursors and like the little attentions to detail. Some of it enabled by the Phobos engine, as previously mentioned. It's cool to see.
Unit ready.
I probably shouldn't spend so much early on infantry. Let me tech up a bit. Nice, this guy's doing good damage. Let's see if we can get better vision.
Unit promoted. Unit lost.
Not bad.
Cannot deploy here.
We want to get a secondary refinery,
Building.
so we can get these Ursa Major tanks, and then we get the Proletarians as before.
Unit lost.
So I think there's the NG drop off.
Unit promoted.
And there's the NG trying to get the Conyard that I've blocked off. Not this time, buddy.
Construction complete. Unit lost. Building. Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Our ally is under attack.
I think they're trying it again. Yeah, here he is. So they are quite persistent with that stuff, so it is definitely something to be aware of.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Training. Unit promoted. Attention. Unit lost. Unit ready. On hold.
Flame.
Unit ready.
Get a couple of flame towers, and then we want to switch to some flak towers.
Construction complete. Unit lost. Repairing. Training.
Or just get the flak towers straight up. Wow.
Unit lost.
Allies are going to have to take care of themselves. My hands are full here. We are running out of the starting ore, which is a little bit worrying. I have a little patch here, so I guess it's something. Radar. We're getting the tanks up. This is good. We have that guy in the back taking care of the engineer drops. So here's the radar dome. They're doing a little drop here, which is super rude. So we can build Hellion MLRSs, we can build Tesla tanks as before, we can build these Tunguskas, Scavenger tank, and then we can get these Twin Blades. Meanwhile, we can get Shockies, we can get Pyros. Shockies come auto-promoted with the faction, I guess. Pretty nice. Okay. Bureau of Industry is the one we haven't checked out yet, so we'll get that. I could use some better flak cannon tech. There is ore up here too, so we should be good for a while. The ore regrowth seems to be decent actually as well back here. We're not losing a bunch of stuff, at least not yet. Here's the Tunguskas. I think this is anti-air capable, so that should be good. All the super weapons are starting to drop now, so I'm a little bit behind. More than a little bit, but that's fine. Oof. Get ourselves a nuclear reactor. What else we have unlocked? V3s we've seen before. Mobile War Factory, so it's like your hand of your fist of Nod kind of. Apocalypse tanks, these are what we want. 5k. And of course the Kirov airship. These should be the more traditional style Kirovs that do damage rather than the more propagation center based ones. Here's a scavenger tank. These guys, where are they? Kills, generate credits. So I think it's useful against infantry, kind of like the Yuri grinder functionality. Doomsday device, different. So instead of a nuke, you get this. It's a super weapon building, unlocks Iron Sky super weapon. So I think we've seen this used against us in a previous matchup. But it'll be nice to use it ourselves and see it. A nuke bombardier. Volkov soldier. So pretty cool. I think we want to get more war factories going so we can speed up the production of our apocalypse tanks. Although our eco isn't great either. It's okay. Just a bit slow. We've got emergency repair ability. I guess we can do it here. Some of these will auto repair, which is great. We have a spy plane, which you can do here. They probably have a jamming device. Alright. Doing okay. AIs are doing a little bit of offense, which is cool. It's nice to see.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here.
Okay, here's our second war factory.
Unit ready.
I'm gonna reduce this just down to 1, so we can see what the tank looks like. Then look at the Kirov, and then go back to the tanks. The twin blade choppers are here. Seem pretty cool. I can build standard mammoth tanks as well. We've seen these before. And here is the apocalypse tank. Hell yeah. Very cool. Doomsday device. We'll stick this in the back. Not so worried about the iron cannon. Like we know how that works. It's quite expensive investment. Rather get the units at this point. Our allies sending the nuke. Who's gonna get hit? Ooh, down she goes. So if you're doing this in like a co-op fashion, you can obviously time your super weapons and try liaise to get them all down at the same time.
Unit promoted. Repairing. Our ally is under attack. Warning. Nuclear silo detected. Unit promoted.
Right here, comrade.
Warning. Iron curtain activated.
Alright.
Unit ready.
The boys seem to be doing okay. You may as well go in and do some damage.
Nuclear missile launched. Unit promoted.
Don't hit my base.
Unit lost.
Nice.
Lost. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Unit promoted.
Excuse you? What is this?
Unit ready. All miner under attack. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Warning. Chronosphere detected. Unit lost. Our ally is under attack.
Why can't I attack this with my apocalypse? I guess they can't attack air?
On hold.
What's an anti-air? These.
Unit lost. New rally point established.
Oh, my tanks all died over here. Shit.
Repairing.
Okay.
Unit ready. Warning. Iron curtain activated.
We will change this world.
What's it gonna be?
Select target.
Armored personnel carrier ready. Getting in closer.
Warning. Nuclear silo detected.
Hammer tank.
May as well try and cut off their
Our
production.
base is under attack.
Maneuvering.
Insufficient funds. Repairing. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Our base is under attack.
Shit.
Unit lost.
Pull back.
Our ally is under attack. Unit lost. Warning. Nuclear missile.
Our Iron Sky ability
Iron
is
curtain activated.
launching.
Ally is under attack.
Use it with their nuke.
Base is under attack. Repairing. Our base is under attack. Unit promoted. Our base is under attack. Repairing. Unit promoted. Repairing.
Waiting order.
Whew.
On hold.
Order.
The eco is super slow, so I'm gonna spam a bunch of miners.
Building.
Get another war factory.
Conscript report.
Warning. Nuclear missile launched. New rally point established. Our ally is under attack.
I think we've seen all the unique units for this faction, which is good.
Construction complete.
Queue up a bunch we can build.
Primary building selected. Unit ready.
Do.
What's it gonna be? If you
Unit
say so.
ready.
Yeah. What do I get?
I just maybe sit here for a bit. Or purifier. That's not such a big deal.
Ally is under attack. Ore miner under attack. Unit ready. Our base is under
Can you
attack.
just crush these guys already? Come on.
Ore miner under attack. Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Ore miner under attack. Our ally is under attack. Our base is under attack.
There we go.
Waiting order. You are
Select
sure?
target. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit promoted. Warning. Nuclear silo detected.
Okay.
Lost.
This is good.
Our ally is under attack. Unit
Knock out the
ready.
power. The only thing they can build from is their racks at the moment.
Unit
So if we
lost.
take this out, it should do us some favors. bit of luck, the AI might even sell out.
Unit lost. Warning.
But in order to do that, I'll have to kill it, and looks like I'm not going to be able to with just this.
Warning. Iron curtain activated. Unit.
This should hopefully finish it, although the AoE effect of it might not. Nice.
Our ally is under attack.
Nice.
Player.
Nice. That's one down.
Rally point established.
We're getting there.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Ore miner under attack. Repairing. Our ally.
Might be worthwhile getting like a flame drone or something back here.
Ore miner under attack.
Alright. Step on it.
Repairing.
Doo-doo-doo.
Warning. Nuclear missile launched. New rally point established.
I think it's the purple they're after now, right?
Construction complete.
Yeah.
Our ally is under attack.
Nice. So we'll put a flame tower back here.
Unit.
I do like to test the twin tower that I seem to have here. So it fires not one but like two compared to like the normal
Warning.
towers here. They seem to be auto upgraded. It's cool.
Unit ready.
I seem to have gotten a V3 launcher in here, along with some of the mammoth tanks. So we're seeing a good. You're seeing a good mix of. So I'm using the top right here. I can see, sorry, 6 out of 7. It was 5 out of 7. So I have a harvester idled somewhere, just not
Unit ready.
doing anything.
Repairing.
So that is a good feature to have in the game.
Unit ready.
If you can find the idle harvester, it would be nice.
Unit ready.
2 here, 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the others are.
Building.
A couple of these twin blades, I guess, since they're faction specific, unique to Russia.
Training.
And then the Volkov soldiers, just for good measure.
Warning. Iron curtain activated. New rally.
Ah, here he is. There he is.
Our ally is under attack.
So now the flame tower is here, kicking ass. Nice.
Ally is under attack.
Generators humming.
So I think I can come in here and just destroy this from the top down.
Warning. Nuclear missile launched.
Uh,
Our ally is under attack.
once it hits the ally, that's fine.
Unit lost.
Oh, it didn't hit the ally. That sucks.
Target. Our ally is under attack. Unit ready.
Ready for launch.
Unit ready.
Close, please.
Warning. Iron curtain activated.
Okay, they can use the iron curtain on that. It's a bit of a waste.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
That's this guy, the Volkov soldier, calling in an airstrike.
Unit lost.
We'll see how much damage it does on the thing here.
Unit ready.
It's pretty effective.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Am I still building? I am.
Unit lost.
It's like taking in a little bit of extra effort this time, but I think just because there's so much to deal with in terms of the 3v3.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
But we have our units,
Unit lost. Unit ready.
and the AI is starting to move its ass, which is good.
Unit ready.
Iron Sky kicking in too.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Ore miner under attack. Repairing.
Reinforce Soviet will.
Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Unit lost.
In control. Ah, yes.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit
All the airstrikes coming in. Very nice.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit
I
ready.
want to say if I take this out, that's their last production building.
Unit ready.
So they should hopefully sell out.
Iron curtain activated. Warning. Nuclear missile launched.
Not sure what their
Unit
why they're still staying here.
Chronosphere detected.
Also, rip those infantry. Wow. Rude.
Warning. Iron curtain activated.
Alright, let's go up. They might have something like in the shadows here, that's fine.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Select target. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Alright.
Our base is under attack. All my
Problem is, these apocalypse tanks take forever to build because they're so expensive.
on hold. Cancel.
Even though you can build multiples, they just take way too long. So I'm gonna have to rely on just falling back to these older style tanks because they're cheaper, lower tech. Purple's dead. That's 2 down. 1 to go. Almost there, boys.
Unit ready.
Oh shit. Conyard took a bit of a beating. Iron Sky. Guess we'll use it here. Why not?
Unit ready.
Do some damage. It's not the best super weapon. I kind of prefer the nuke. But it has its purposes if you want to do AoE to like a large army rather than like try and target structures like this. But even as part of an assault force, if they have like a bunch of defenses in the front or something, I can see it being useful then. Here and here. I think we also want to... These things have huge range. The hell? We also want to spam infantry, right? Let's get a bunch of shock troopers, maybe a couple of nuke bombardiers and a bunch of Volkovs.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Just knock them back a little bit. Tick away with some damage.
Unit promoted. Unit lost. Warning. Iron curtain activated. Unit ready.
Very nice.
Warning. Iron curtain activated.
Can I emergency repair my ally stuff?
Unit
Looks like they
ready.
repaired.
Warning. Nuclear missile launched. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Nice. Coming in, we're finishing it off, boys. Let's do it.
Promoted. Unit.
GG's. And that was their last production structure.
Unit ready. Unit.
I think they'll sell out now in a sec, right?
Unit promoted. Unit lost. Warning. Nuclear missile launched. Unit lost. Unit ready.
And here we go. That's gotta be it.
Unit ready. On hold. Cancel. Unit ready.
GG's.
Player defeat.
It was a fun 3v3. And with that, it brings us to the end of this mod overview. We had a good time. We had a look at the 6 sub-factions as well as a couple of different maps and different terrains. We also had a 3v3 in there, which is pretty exciting. Would definitely recommend checking this mod out. I'll leave a link below in the description to the ModDB page. It's fairly straightforward to do it, as outlined at the start of this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I wish you all the best with the rest of the Red Alert anniversary celebrations, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy, folks.